Hey everyone, good morning and welcome to your channel Learn Data Science with Pranjal. So this is the third knowledge video in series of neural network videos. In the first video, we have seen the introduction to the neural network. In the second knowledge video, I have discussed the activation function and especially the ReLU activation function. So this knowledge video is in continuation to the second knowledge video, and in this knowledge video, we will draw the various activation functions, not only ReLU function but also your soft plus function, leaky ReLU, TANH and the sigmoid. So after plotting these activation functions, we will get a complete idea that what these activation functions are and what is the nature or what is the behavior of these activation functions. So which also implies that for any given value of input or any given value of x, what is the value of output or the y. So let's get started. So in interest of saving the time, what I have done, I have already written a certain piece of code and I'll explain this piece of code. And while explaining the code, I'll also explain the functionality of the various functions. So I have imported NumPy, Matplotlib and Pandas. So let's first discuss the ReLU function. So for ReLU function, we know that if my x is negative, then my output or my y is 0. And if my x is positive, then y is equal to x. So at line number 2, what I've done is I've written def ReLU. I'm creating one user defined function and I'm returning the maximum value, either 0 or z. At line number 3, what I've done is I have created a variable z. And what does this z variable contains? This z variable contains 50 numbers. So if we can look at this variable z, so you will see that this variable contains, so z contains basically your 50 numbers starting from -2 and it goes to your 2. So 50 numbers at the equal interval. Then what I've done is I've done a color coding. Color coding based on your value of z. So if the value is less than or equal to 0, I am marking it as red at line number 4. And if the value is otherwise, I am marking it as green. Now I plot. At line number 6, I am doing the plot. So basically, while plotting only this line which I am highlighting, so plt.scatter is enough. The rest all the parameters are just for my making my code look little more beautiful. So I am saying plt.figure 8 by 8, size 8 by 8. And plt.x label, whatever you want to write on the x-axis, plt.y label, whatever you want to write on the y-axis. So, and then next two line, ax line and axh line. So basically I'm drawing this blue lines which you can see which are acting as my x-axis and my y-axis. And over here I have set color equal to the color code. So now you can see this is your basically your ReLU function. So from this diagram itself we can see that when my x is positive, when x is greater than 0, then y is equal to x. And when x is negative or when x is 0, you can see the red line, your y is equal to 0. So that is what your ReLU function is. So in ReLU function, for any positive value of x, y is equal to x or output is equal to your input. And if x or the input is less than or equal to 0, then your y or output is 0. Now let's discuss our leaky ReLU. So in ReLU, what happens is that whenever your x is negative, your y is equal to 0. So basically when y is equal to 0, it implies that there is no output. So when output is not generated, there may be a scenario that your neural network may die down or your network may stop to train. So in leaky ReLU, we wish to generate the output or your y value even for negative value of x also. So at line number 7, I am defining a function leaky ReLU, and this time I am creating a variable z, linear space -10 to 10, and I am creating 50 numbers. And I am saying for I in z, if I is greater than or equal to 0, I am appending I. So which also means that if I is greater than 0 or if input is greater than 0, then your y is equal to your or your output is equal to your input. Else, I am saying I 2.01. So one thing would be amazing that people might be thinking, what is this 0.01? So if a line is passing through origin, if line is passing through origin, then your intercept would not be there. So for a line which is passing through your origin, it would be having your y is equal to mx. So consider the red line which is passing through origin. If line is passing through origin, then this your c would be 0. You will not be having the intercept. And if I say m equal to 0.01, so this 0.01 is nothing but your slope. So same thing is happening in my code also. I am saying 0.01. So why 0.01? There is no specific reason why 0.01. Instead of 0.01, you can take 0.02, 0.03. It's a user defined value also. But normally it is taken as 0.01. We should take a very small slope so that for negative values of x, output should be generated, but the generated output should be very less. And that is why we are taking 0.01. So 0.01 is nothing but your slope. So when your x is negative, your y would be x into 0.01. Now let's plot our leaky ReLU. So for plotting, I have already written the code. Let me explain the main line, what I am doing. So I am giving call to my leaky ReLU. So leaky ReLU is acting as my user defined function. So leaky ReLU z, and then I am saying plt dot figure, and I am doing my scatter plot. And again this time I am doing my color coding. So let's see how our leaky ReLU will look like. So our leaky ReLU will look something like this. So the green line or the green dots represent when your x is greater than 0. And if you closely look at these red line, if you closely look at this red line or the red dots, you will see that these red dots are not on your x-axis, but they are slightly below the x-axis. So which means that for negative values of x, I am still generating my output. Though the output generated is very small, but yes, we are still generating the output. Now let's discuss our soft plus function. So soft plus function is np.log 1 plus np.exponential power z. So I have written this function over here. So this is nothing but this thing. And mathematically, this function can also be written as something. So I'm saying ln 1 plus e power z. And since I'm saying ln, it is base e. So you are taking base e 1 plus e power z. So this is nothing but your soft plus function. Now let's try to draw the soft plus function. So I am creating one user defined function soft plus, and I am saying return np.log 1 plus np.exponential z, and then again I am creating a variable z from -5 to 2 with equally spaced numbers, 50 numbers, and then what I am doing is I am plotting it, and also I am doing the color coding. So this is how my soft plus function looks like. The main difference between soft plus function and the ReLU function is that in ReLU, as soon as the value of x was negative, y was negative. So there was a sudden stopping of the output. Suddenly the output used to stop. But in soft plus, output will not stop suddenly. So from this graph also we can see that output is decreasing, but it is decreasing slowly. It is decreasing slowly. So even for the negative values of x, I still generate some kind of output. Even for negative values of x, I am still generating a positive output, or you can say that value of y is still positive. It declines or it decays, but not suddenly, but slowly. So when you are using soft plus, again you can overcome the problem of your neural network suddenly becoming dead or the number of neurons suddenly becoming dead. So it will decline with a decaying pace. Let's discuss our another activation function, that is our tanh function. So tanh function is nothing but a mathematical function which we already know. It is something similar to your sigmoid function. It is S-shaped, but the difference between tanh and sigmoid is that sigmoid is from 0 to 1. Tanh would be from -1 to +1. So this is how I am drawing my tanh. Again, I am creating a variable z which would be acting as my x. I am doing my color coding, and then I am drawing my tanh function. So in tanh function, you can see that the graph is extending from -1 till +1. And over here the 0 is acting as your decision boundary. 0 is acting as your decision boundary. Normally keep one thing in mind, that tanh function should be used especially in your recurrent neural networks and not in your MLP functions or in your CNN functions. Now let's discuss the last function, sigmoid function. I will not consider sigmoid to be a kind of activation function. Normally it is I'll say a small version of a soft max function, not the soft plus but the soft max function. This is especially used to make the decision, and normally it is used in your logistic regression where your target variable is binary. So whether you want to answer whether it should belong to class 0 class 1, but it can be used, though it should not be used, it can be used as your activation function. And your sigmoid function is 1 plus np exponential minus z. So sigmoid function I have already discussed in detail in my previous video, but let me discuss it once more. So sigmoid function can be written something like this. It can be written as 1 upon 1 plus e power minus z. So this thing can be written as 1 upon 1 plus 1 by e power z. And if you round it off, then it would be written as e power z upon 1 plus e power z. And sigmoid function can also be written as your ln p upon 1 minus p, where p is nothing but your probability. So now let's try to understand this code. So code is pretty simple. I am defining one logit function, logit z, and this function returns the value 1 upon 1 plus np exponential minus z, which I have just written on the paint window. And then I have already created the variable z over here. So z has already been created, so I'm not creating the z separately. I would be using the same z, and then I'm plotting it. So over here the color code again I have used the color code. So above your this blue line, which is so on the higher side, that this green line, this green dot slowly touch your 1 at infinity, and on the lower side these red dots touch your x-axis at infinity, and this 0.5 is acting as your barrier. So if values are less than or equal to 0.5, you are marked in class 0. If the values are more than 0.5, you are marked in your class 1. So this brings us to the end of this knowledge video, and I hope people would have enjoyed this knowledge video. So in next knowledge video, we will see how the neural network actually works. So where actually the activation functions come into the picture, and what is the threshold value, and how the neurons are activated, and how do they generate the output. So thank you everyone for watching the video. Hope to see you soon in my next video. Till that time, happy learning.